Hi everybody. Today it's let's study together Dao De Jing chapter 9. As always, I'll read you the whole chapter in Chinese first, and then we'll go through the chapter sentence by sentence. Dao De Jing chapter 9. 持而盈之，不如其已；追而锐之，不可长保。金玉满堂，莫之能守；富贵而骄，自遗其咎。功遂身退，天之道。That's Dao De Jing chapter 9. First sentence. 持而盈之，不如其已。It means that it's better stop short than fill to the brim, fill to the top. Let's think about it. For us, if which way will be more stable? If you fill the mug all the way to the top, if you want to walk around with the mug, or you stop it where it was just short of the top. Lao Tzu says it's better to stay a little short than fill all the way to the top. So that's an example. Lao Tzu gave another example. Here, the next sentence. 追而锐之，不可长保。追 means you're hitting something. This example is talking about, for example, a blacksmith making a knife. We know you've seen probably videos, you've probably seen blacksmiths performing it. To make a knife, you need to using a hammer to keep hitting the metal, and then the more you hit it, the blade it will sharpen, gets more and more sharp. However, if you do not stop and if you keep going, then eventually the edge will be blunt. So you get to the sharp to enough that you either broke or it will stop being you went over the top. So 不可长保 means the sharpness will not last long if you keep beating it. Next sentence is another example Lao Tzu gave us. 金玉满堂，莫之能守。金 means gold. Yu is jade. Gold and jade represents valuable things, treasures, things that's worth a lot of money. 满堂 means fill the house. So that sounds like great, right? Nobody think that who would think that they already have enough? They have enough money, they don't need it anymore. It seems like the more the better. So if you can have the valuables, gold and jade and expensive things filling your house, sounds like a very good thing. And then what happened? Lao Tzu said, 莫之能守 means that you can't protect it. You won't be able to have it for long. If you have a lot of good things that's expensive things other people want, and we get it to be over what you have the ability to protect it, to own it. Maybe a thief or a robber will know about it, and they'll come and they'll steal the gold and jade from your house. And you may lose all your treasure, and even worse in some case, and the people, you may get hurt during the robbery. So in a way, that's not a good thing. There is also a famous, well-known Chinese idiom that's passed down from the Zhou dynasty. So Zhou dynasty was a dynasty in China that was from about 1000 BC to around 200 BC. So it's an idiom that's been passing down through time in Chinese culture, which tells pretty much the same story or have the same lesson. It goes like this. It says, 匹夫无罪，怀玉其罪. It means that this person, he or she itself has 无罪, means has no guilt, no problem. 怀玉 means that you're holding a jade, a beautiful jade, or you own a beautiful jade. 其罪, it means your fault. Here it's more like your problem, your trouble. It's not because of yourself. It's trouble. It's because of you own this beautiful jade, and it's above your ability to be able to protect it. Then a disaster could bring disaster to you. So 3 examples. There's another one. Lao Tzu said, 富贵而骄，自遗其咎. Fu means rich, and 贵 means someone with a high social status in the upper class. So it's rich and powerful. 而骄 means that this person is arrogant because of the money that he has, or the social status that he or she has. If you have those and you become arrogant, then Lao Tzu said, what happened? 自遗其咎 means that this person will bring 咎, disaster, bad things, bring disaster onto themselves. All of these 4 examples, what Lao Tzu is trying to tell us is that when you do things, there is a degree, in Chinese it calls a do. Do knows the degree to stop, knows the do is a very important part of this like you talk about in Chinese culture. You see a lot of things, a lot of sayings are talking about where is the right point to stop. And then, because if you keep going, then things start to change. It's going to go to the other direction. You found that this is actually a very core belief or a core concept in Chinese philosophy. It's deep-rooted. It's been passing down for so many years. You can say that it's quite deep-rooted in every Chinese's the mindset. We have a lot of sayings that saying pretty much the same idea, the same lesson. For example, a common word people always use is common phrase is 谦虚谨慎. It's telling people 谦虚 means modest. even though you've had good achievement, but don't get too arrogant. Don't lose your head. 谨慎 means be cautious. Because when things goes well, everything goes well, whatever you do, you feel like, it's happening, I get what my way, and people tend to be stop being cautious. And then at some point, you probably are not seeing all the things, how things are changing. And you probably goes just thinking, okay, this is the way it's always worked, and this is definitely going to work, without realizing maybe things has changed, the trend has changed. And that's not going to bring good fortune or luck to us. Another example of the Chinese saying is 戒骄戒躁, means don't be 骄 arrogant, don't be arrogant. 戒躁 means don't be too showy. These are, for example, when I read this part, which another also reminded me is I Ching. A lot of people probably heard about I Ching. I Ching in China is considered the top one. Jing means classic. The top one of all the classics. That tells you the importance the Chinese people think I Ching is. People have been studying I Ching for thousands of years. And there are books and books that people wrote about what they think I Ching is telling us. And there are so many, I Ching can be used in so many ways. Whatever field you're in, you probably can learn something from I Ching, get the wisdom from I Ching. It's like Dao, it's talking about this universal rule. So it doesn't matter which field, which aspect of life, you would always be able to find something. Even, the emperors study I Ching to know how to better govern the country. And from that, down the way to businessmen use the I Ching to do better business. And all the way down to even people use I Ching. Another way is to be able to tell the fortune, tell the future. Because it's studying of the natural law. It's studying I. One meaning of I means change. It's studying how things change. How things change oftentimes doesn't matter what things it could be change of the epidemic dynamic. It could change of a population. It could change like how a species, the population, the size moves. There are many trends in many fields that have the similar trend. So I Ching has a deep wisdom that some people could spend their whole life studying it and still feeling like there's things to gain. What this chapter makes me think about is, I want to talk a little bit, is I Ching has, there are 64 hexagram. Each hexagram just means this one. You can say it as a drawing, because ancient times people just make drawings of the 64 images. For example, this one is the number one hexagram in I Ching, and it has the 6 straight lines. This is called qian gua. Qian means qian is the symbol for yang, like yang and yin yang. And the straight line also means yang. It's yang yao, yang line, compared to yang and yin. So what I want to say is that, so in this 6 hexagram, this qian gua, you can see their lines goes the bottom, they're called the bottom line, and then second, third, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Guess which line, if each line represents, let's say, social status of the trend of things, guess which line that the Chinese people think is the most, is the best, is the most lucky. So the best line. Right? After we talked about, you probably know that it's not the top line. The meaning of the top line is 亢龙有悔. It means when it gets here, it's at the top, it's too much, and there are things to regret. So you probably figure out the luckiest line for Chinese people believe is actually this line that's under it. This line is called 95. It's 95. So if in the future, if we study I Ching together, I can explain a little more what it means 95. However, right now you just need to know this line is called 95. And 95 in Chinese 95. 95之尊 is what, saying like someone is at this position of 95. It's a word to use for emperors. Emperors are called 95之尊. So it's at this status. Think about emperor. Emperor owns, there is a Chinese saying that 普天之下莫非王土率土之滨莫非王臣. What does it mean? It means all the land you could see under the sky belongs to the emperor. All the people that's living on the land also works or are under the emperor, are the emperors, the emperor that the emperor governs all the people. Can you find, there's no other person in the world that has better social status, that's more rich, more famous than the emperor. However, the emperor thinks, at least the idea is, the emperor should be thinking they should be over here, not the top. At least that's the wish that the good emperor should be. Whether if emperor will actually be realizing that power corrupts, right? So that may not be, they may not all be doing that, knowing that. So this chapter mostly talked about that, you need to know the right degree at which that things is actually the best. It's not often not at the top, which is clear. Once you get to the top, where can you go? There's no way to go other than going down, right? And I Ching and us, everybody knows things are continue going. There's no stop. It's not like you get to the top and that's it. Time stops there. Then that's great. However, time's always going and nobody can stop. So once you get to the top, you can only come down. So after Lao Tzu gave us those 4 examples of, if you gets too arrogant, or if it has too much that you can hold, or you sharpen the blade too much, or you feel everything to the top, it's not the best. The last sentence, then Lao Tzu can't just leave us hanging saying, okay, this is not good, that's not good. Then what should we do? So last sentence, Lao Tzu said, 功遂身退天之道. Oh, Heather, I just saw your note. Great. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful for you. If you're interested in watching the previous videos, which started from Dao De Jing Chapter 1, go to the unit section in Wu Healing Group. There is a unit that's Dao De Jing study. You can watch all the previous videos. Last sentence. 功 means work, your achievement. 岁 is done. Then 身退 means you should step back. Step back when your work is done. 天之道, the Tao, the way of heaven. The way heaven, the way nature. That's how the way nature does things. Which makes sense to me. You think about it. If you go to a restaurant, the chef cook a dish. After the dish is done, it's brought out to serve to the customer. The chef is not staying with the dish and then come to your table, be like, hey, I made this. Isn't it great? Try it. You like it, right? And everything, an architect build a house for you. He or she is not going to stay in the house this whole time. Otherwise, it will be way too annoying, right? So once you're done, step back and then let what you've done be service to others. Let them enjoy. And because of you doing that, and people will actually remember you. People will actually appreciate your work. The famous chef we know, everybody knows, and famous architect, famous artist. Famous artist doesn't stay in the gallery all the time when people come to enjoy his or her art. A lot of people probably would prefer not actually even to be known. That is the way to do. This is the way of nature. Nature nurtures us, nurtures every being. However, like we talked about at the end of last section, everything seems so natural. We enjoy what nature offers us. We don't constantly thinking, okay, this is being offered to me, I'm grateful. I'd be able to standing on the ground, I'd be able to sit on the chair, I am very grateful. Nature provides service such a natural way. And however, nobody can separate themselves from nature. That concludes our study of Dao De Jing Chapter 9. I hope you enjoyed it. And you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions, or anything you would like me to include or talk more about, so any feedbacks, please let me know. You can comments in the video, in the comments below this video, or just send me a personal message. Okay, have a beautiful day and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you, Heather.